If I had to start over at 40, these are the exact needle movers that I would focus on to look 10 years younger. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Tracy. I'm 51 years old. I'm a lover of all things fitness, wellness, beauty, skincare treatments, and more. So if those are things that you love too, make sure to tap on that subscribe button. And everyone, tap on that little bell icon so you know when I have a brand new video that goes live. So it's February and I live in Miami and the weather is absolutely gorgeous, but I'm actually outside right now because I'm hiding. They're actually doing some plumbing work inside of my house. And I just wanted to stay on schedule for you. So we are here, we are feeling that Beyonce breeze, we are doing the things. But let's get into the exact things that I have noticed now at 51 that have really made the biggest difference into shaving a few years off. And not that we do not love our age. The reason why I start pretty much every single video telling you how old I am is number one, for some context. Number two, to let you know that I am proud of my age. And number three, hopefully you're inspired that we're just gonna keep getting better and better as we get older. The first thing I would absolutely focus on to just look my freshest, to look my best, to really show up as that best version of myself is to make sure that your skincare is on lock. It's really different. Your skin really changes. I've noticed that after my, especially late 40s, my skin started changing tremendously. Number one, because I was in perimenopause. I was also a new mom at that age. And me just kind of trying any old random products just simply did not work for my skin anymore. And so I really got serious with my skincare. And it shows. I get comments from you guys all the time, like, what are you doing? You had a facelift, you did this. I have not had a facelift. I have not done any kind of surgery on my face or on my skin. But what I did do was really focus on having a skincare routine that works for me. So I have whole videos all about my skincare routine, what I love using. But to give you like the 2-second version, a gentle skincare, things that really strip your skin, make you feel tight, dry, and puckery are just not it at this age and stage. And then hydration, hydration, hydration. That's really everything, making sure that you are letting your skin soak up that moisture, whether that comes from hyaluronic acid or moisturizer, even actives. It really depends on you. And of course, sunscreen. Now, my nighttime routine is when things get a little bit wild for me because it's also sort of like me time and I enjoy it. But the most important thing here is making sure that whatever you are doing that is working for you, my 2 cents is serums. I think that serums work better than really anything else because they are more easily absorbed into your skin. You can get more powerful actives. And that's what I started doing about 2 years ago. And I've really noticed a huge, huge difference in my skin, making sure that I was using the right serums for my skin to get the result that I want. So now, as you know, I now live in Miami, but for the first 45 years of my life, I was living up in the Northeast. So this wasn't quite as important, but now I have sunshine literally every single day, and I have noticed the toll that it has taken on my skin. So find a good quality sunscreen. Yes, I do believe in vitamin D and getting some natural light on your face and on your skin. However, in just 7 years living in Miami, I noticed the difference in my neck and in my chest and getting some sunspots. So good quality sunscreen. I have a huge, this thing is massive, visor that I just bought. I got it on Amazon. It was super inexpensive, but I actually kind of like it. And I wore it all through Mexico City because another thing that I did was I hit the reset button. And I would actually recommend that you do this too if you have some sun damage, which is I got a laser treatment. I'd never done any laser treatments before, but I have to say, I wish you could feel my skin through the camera. So now it's been just about 2 weeks. My skin feels baby soft, feels so soft. My neck and my chest, I still haven't been able to exfoliate, so I do notice I have some darker patches, but what I'm so thrilled about is it kind of hit the reset button. Now, obviously, if you have melasma or something like that, it might not be right for your skin, but for me, so far, very, very positive experience, and like I said, it just sort of feels like I got a little reset button on my skin. We will, over time, I'll keep you posted on my results and how I feel, but as of today, we are loving it. One of the biggest, and I mean biggest things that I missed and I wish that I had focused on when I was in my 40s, but really honestly at 35, the neck. I really didn't focus on my neck. My mom is the kind of lady that like washes her face with a bar of soap. She actually has really good skin. Like I don't really know. The math doesn't math for me, but I really wished I had focused on my neck more. So if you are a girly in your 30s or even in your 40s, this is the area that matters so, so much, your neck and your neck. So making sure, again, that whatever you're using on your face, a few extra pumps on your neck and on your chest. Basically, if I use 2 pumps on my face of a serum, I will use 2, sometimes 3, to make sure that my neck and my neck are covered. And here's a big mistake that I made. I would kind of focus here because I don't really like touching. I don't know why, it's like a thing. I don't like people touching my belly button. Okay, this is way TMI. I don't like people touching my belly button, and I don't like people touching like my neck right here. It's like just a weird like sensorial thing. But you have to put your skincare there. And I have noticed at this phase at 51, I have some light puckering here. I have noticed an improvement since the laser, but really making sure that I'm hydrating there, that I'm putting actives there, and definitely sunscreen. It is crucial, it is important. When I got the laser done, we noticed that I had darkness on the sides of my ears, and that's because your chin is almost like a little visor for your neck here, but it's not covering the sides. So you gotta cover it all, especially if you live in a sunnier, warmer climate, but honestly for everyone, because even the blue light from our screens can make a difference. And this is one of the telltale signs of aging. You know, if I don't get a neck lift when I'm like, you know, I don't know, 60 or something like that, I'll be that girl that's just like in a turtleneck all the time. She's chic, she's like Diane Keaton with her gloves. Like, I don't know, who knows what we'll do. Here's one that in my opinion is often overlooked, but the difference that sleep makes on your face. If you're over 40, I don't need to tell you this because we see it. And now that I'm in my 50s, if I have a rough night's sleep, I wake up and I'm like, oh girl. But even more important than the quantity of how many hours you're sleeping, it's the quality of your sleep that matters now more than ever. Sometimes you wake up and there are like these lines on your face and they can literally stay there for hours. And these aren't cute little lines. These are straight up wrinkles. And yes, we can get wrinkles from sleeping. How rude. And sleep wrinkles are different than expression lines because they are vertical, straight up and down. I'm talking about our nasolabial folds, the dreaded 11, which drives me crazy, along the side of our face and even in our chest. And as we get older, they just don't bounce back the way that they used to. And that's actually why I started using my Sleep and Glow Omnia pillow almost now about 2 years ago, and I have never looked back. The design is completely different. It has these side cradles when you sleep on your side, so your cheek isn't compressed. Your face is basically suspended instead of folded, and there's space between your skin and the pillow, so you're not creating those vertical lines at night. And it's also designed by orthopedists, so your neck and your head are really in a better anatomical position when you sleep. That was one of the first things that I noticed. I noticed it immediately, even after my first night of sleep on my Sleep and Glow, was like, my neck didn't feel creaky or achy. And I had that for years prior. They're the only brand that's done clinical testing showing visible wrinkle reduction in just 3 months, which says a lot. And if you are a perimenopausal or a menopausal mama like myself and you tend to overheat at night, listen up. They just launched a ventilated blanket that helps to regulate temperature. And right now, Sleep and Glow is offering 15% off for Women's Day. They almost never do discounts. So if you've heard me talk about my Sleep and Glow pillow for the last 2 years and you've been thinking about it, this is your time to jump. I'll leave my code here on the screen and the link. Everything will be down below in the description box for you. And if you're watching me here on TV, here is a QR code that you can easily scan and check out the Sleep and Glow. Make sure to use my code so you get that 15% discount. Because like I said, they almost never offer discounts. The next thing that I would do if I was starting over at 40 is what I like to call less but better. So let me break it down. When I was in my 20s and 30s, it was the 2000s and then into the 10s. And you know, YouTube was really having a moment. We were all watching those makeup tutorials, right? But if we put our makeup on like that now, we would look kind of cray-cray. You know, the heavy, full coverage foundation, the giant triangles of concealer, those big drawn out brows, or like a really strong lip. Maybe it would work on our 20 or 30-year-old skin, but now at 50, no way, Jose, it just does not work. Now I think less looks so much better. I used to get lash extensions. I don't do that anymore. I don't even wear foundation. I wear a tinted sunscreen on my face and on my neck and on my chest because I practice what I preach. light bronzer. And everybody always asks me that, what is your eyeshadow? It's bronzer. It's literally bronzer. I do not own a single eyeshadow palette because I'm just not that great with makeup. I like to keep things really natural, so the focus is more on my features that I like, but it allows my skin to shine. So it's much better to focus on having that good foundational skincare so that you can do less and just look so much better. Now, this is one that I think is kind of like on the sad list, but it's also on the true list. At this age and stage, depuffing our face really, really matters. I don't know if you can hear it, but I tend to get some kind of sinus issues. And we were just in Mexico City, and as much as I love the city, it was so beautiful, so fun, but like, oh my gosh, the air quality there was kind of wild. And immediately I was like stuffy, felt the allergies, the whole thing, which is kind of weird because in Miami, my allergies tend to be worse, but I digress. My point is, waking up with a puffy face is very, very telling of our age. And when you have a puffier or swollen face, you're just not gonna look fresh. You're gonna look a little bit more kind of haggard. And I know because this has happened to me too. I sometimes would wake up with kind of like a puffiness around, especially one eye, and I guess it was the way that I was sleeping, but the fluid. So you've gotta really prioritize things that are gonna get the inflammation down. Yes, supplementation, but also doing things like gua sha. I have found using my vibration plate just makes me feel like $1,000,000. It just increases your circulation throughout your entire body. So it really, really can help with that lymph flow, with that fluid drainage, and just makes you feel so much better. But I find that I'm not waking up puffy, and it even has helped with my sinuses. This is due to Mexico City, unfortunately not to anything else. And a few other things to consider. Alcohol consumption, it shows on our face right away, and sodium. If you're eating a lot of takeout, if you're going to restaurants all the time, you don't have the control of what they're actually putting into your food. And if you're the kind of girly who has like a sushi dinner and you wake up the next day like really puffy, I would just make sure that you're really hydrating, taking electrolytes, doing the things that are going to help to depuff your face and your body so that you look and feel your best. If I could talk to 40-year-old Tracy Campoli, this is what I would say. Girl, chill on the highlights. But this is really key, okay? I used to get my hair highlighted every 6 weeks. I would go crazy if there was a dark root. Now I actually spray dark roots into my hair. I, in fact, have an entire video all about what I like to call the contrast theory, and it really does make a huge difference. So no matter what your hair color is, natural, something that you don't have to kind of change constantly, is best. I have a ton of gray hair, so I do dye my own roots, but I do not highlight my hair. I have not highlighted my hair in 5 years, no joke, probably even longer at this point. People are like, they don't believe me. Sometimes I'm like, I swear I don't. Some hairstylists have actually chimed in on my comments and said, no, it's because of your grays kind of being throughout, but I can't imagine that the gray is all the way down. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it just goes to like here. But anyway, I don't know why it works. I do have an entire video about how I dye my hair, but no matter what, it's really, really important that you dial in the hair color, the hairstyle, and even that you're looking at some contrast on your brows. If you're like me and you have a lot of gray hair, I fill in my brows with makeup with like a tinted gel. Some days I'll use a little pencil because I'm way overdue of tinting my brows, and then I do tint my brows. And I use Just for Men hair dye on my brows, and I use shade light brown. Everyone always asks me. So it's actually darker than the color on my hair, and that's again because we want that contrast. Next up is being aware of what colors really light you up and make you look your best. Now, I have never gotten my colors done, but I've heard that there's a way that you can do it with AI, which I find quite intriguing. So if that's something that you're interested in and finding out about colors and which ones work best for you, definitely let me know in the comments here. But because I basically have a video diary here on YouTube, I know that every single time I wear like a beautiful warm chocolate brown, I always get comments from people being like, brown is your color, brown is your color. So I wear a lot of brown. I have noticed that when I wear red, it is also very flattering. This I would say is like okay, but I actually just like this outfit, so we're wearing it. I have a chocolate brown pant on. But my point is knowing which colors really flatter you, wake up your skin is really key. And it's such an easy way to trick people into making you look a little fresher, a little brighter, a little bit more like that best version of you. And you know what? If you can't get your colors done by a human, just ask the robots. Now, as a trainer since 1999, this would not be me if I did not include this as a big one. You need to focus on strength because muscles lift us up, right? But when we lose our muscle tone, which unfortunately starts to happen in our late 30s and even into our early 40s, we can start looking kind of weighed down. So if you're keeping your muscles strong, focusing on strength training or resistance training, doing just little things to kind of get that lift happening, you are going to look a little bit more youthful. Even our face has muscles. So I do some facial and even neck exercises, and it's so easy, guys. It's not like I have the time to be doing like an hour a day on like this kind of stuff. No, I'm talking mere minutes. Like yesterday I was flying back from Mexico City. I was on the plane doing some facial exercises. I was that girl on the plane and nobody could see me. I mean, we were in a row, just the three of us, so it was fine. But my point is, like, who cares what you look like if it's going to give you the result that you want? Our face has muscles, our neck and our chest has muscles, and of course our upper body. If you keep that strong and you keep that as a focus, it just gives you a little bit more of a lift, which creates then a more youthful looking appearance. And finally, you know, I was starting from scratch at 40, what I would tell myself is that youthful glow comes from within. And this is something that I constantly need to remind myself that, and this is really important, hear this, the rest is the work. What I mean by that is rest is not a luxury. Rest is a necessity. And I'm so happy that now we're getting to that point where that era of like girl bossing is kind of over and that hustle culture, because we know that that is 100% the road to burnout. And when I was in my early 40s, I was definitely on that road, working super long hours, pushing myself and kind of being a little bit of a lunatic. I love that I was that girl with ambition. I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't that girl. But my point is, stress is going to show up on your face. It is going to show up in your body as inflammation. And you are just not going to feel like the most vibrant, healthy, most you version of you. And that's what we want. So, you know, don't feel guilty for scheduling a day off, for taking a little vacation, for having a girls' dinner, for hiring a babysitter so that you can do something fun, right? For just taking a minute to put your legs up on the wall, or I don't know, just even giving yourself 10 minutes on your vibration plate. All these little micro moments are what really can show up on your face and your body and really help you to look a little bit fresher, feel a lot better, and to just really show up as that best version of you. And that's what we're all about here on this channel, right? So that's what I have for you today. I hope this was a good, friendly reminder for you. I want to hear, what are the habits that you are doing? What's something new that you're going to implement? And if I missed something, definitely let me know in the comments below. You are gorgeous. You are amazing. And if you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, check out this video next. I'll see you there.